Hello, welcome to the Manic Pixie Dream Vlog. I'm your host, Caroline Georges, and welcome today. So good morning. I wake up like this. Good morning. Anyways, I went through a really huge PTSD episode, and I'm over it. I'm done. I did like 5 vlogs where I was like crying, sobbing, working through my issues and that sort of thing that I didn't put up. Like, it's like I want to be open and honest with what I'm going through and what I'm experiencing. I think that's look, I want to do shit for the world. I want to contribute. I want to do my part. This is what I feel like is doing my part. I feel like this is contributing. And so this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to help. And yeah, so I feel like doing a vlog where I'm working through my PTSD episode and what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling is actually not a bad idea. But at the same time, like, I just, when I'm more emotional on these vlogs, I get criticized more in the comments when I'm more emotional and stuff, and I'm taken less seriously. Even if I'm more emotional, I'm taken less seriously. And yeah, I just, it's really hard having PTSD. It's really, really fucking hard. And I just, okay, like, honoring the suffering of others, this is my suffering. I can't do anything about the starving kids in Africa. I can't do anything about that because I really can't do anything. I get really negative and really down on myself, even though I shouldn't be. I'm working really hard and I'm taking steps forward. These are really hard steps to take forward. I feel so silly all the time. Like, I feel silly moving forward and doing well. I feel silly. Like, it doesn't feel natural to me. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, it doesn't, okay. That's sort of where I'm at. Like, it doesn't feel natural to me being healthy. It feels sort of like I'm growing a second skin and it's uncomfortable. There's something really, I don't know what it is about this, like, fuck it attitude and stuff, because I had that the other day. I had casual sex recently, and I think that that's in part what triggered my PTSD, because afterwards I felt really bad about myself, and it didn't make me feel good afterwards. And, the reasons why I did it, look, like, he's friends with my ex-boyfriend. He's literally neighbors with my ex-boyfriend. He has a 6-pack. He's really cute. He's really charming, and he's a good dancer, and he's a really good time. You know what I mean? I had a lot of reasons to sleep with this guy. Trust me. He was a perfect rebound. But still, I'm just reminded how important sex is. You know what I mean? When it's treated like something that's mechanical and stuff that can't be satisfying, you know what I mean? And it's fleeting, it is really like a drug. And when the supply runs out, and it runs out so fast, and you're sort of left with nothing, that's sort of a dejecting feeling. I don't know what to do. I don't like being single, and I like men paying attention to me. And when I had the PTSD episode, the feelings I was experiencing were I felt like I was disassociating to so I was raped by my ex-boyfriend, and I just feel like such a clown saying that all the time. Like, I was raped, and it's just like, ugh, God. I would hate it if people got sick of hearing me talk about rape, though. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. Anyways, that was just something. Because I guess just because I'd hated people got sick of hearing me talk about rape, because I feel like a little bit like it sort of feels redundant to me now, talking about rape so much and that sort of thing, but still I have to talk about it. I need to talk about it. I'm not over it. I need to talk about it. You know, my rapists aren't paying for me to be in treatment. You know what I mean? So if I can make use of this with vlogs, then I should, you know? And that's the point I want to make, how unfair it is that I have to pay for my own therapy because of what other people do to me. I have to pay for my own treatment. I have to pay for my own therapy. I have to pay for my own medication. I have to deal with being tired and not getting a good night's sleep. Which, from the bags under my eyes, I don't sleep that well sometimes. But, you know, I was feeling really depressed. I was feeling really unwanted. And it's a hard thing to experience, feeling unwanted and feeling unloved. And I don't have a boyfriend right now. And I don't have anyone to fill that space for me right now. And God, and I'm sad about that. I get really sad when I'm single. I feel really sad being alone. But is it good for me? Is it bad that I'm like that? Is it bad that I get so much energy from a relationship? Is it bad that I get so much energy and motivation from men? From being in a relationship with a man? Well, you know, when I was with my ex, that was really exhausting. And, you know, from being like, because he would yell at me all the time. You know, he would pick fights with me all the time. He was really combative that way. And I would have to deal with that. And then also go to Mike's. And then also do stuff, you know. And so also, like, gosh, I'm sorry, this is kind of all over the place, but the guy that I recently hooked up with, he saw my ex-boyfriend at a bar and said hi to him, and then my ex-boyfriend was with another girl, and then the guy that I just hooked up with told me the other day that the girl was not nearly as attractive as I am. And that made me feel really good. And I was like, I think the first thought that came into my head, I was like, haha, yeah, fucker. You know, like, I didn't, my first instinct a lot of the time is to be nasty. And I wonder if other people are like that too. Sometimes your first instinct of what to say or what to do is something kind of nasty. And, but I was flattered by that, and I felt good about that. And that's so wrong. That's so wrong of me. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that girl. And this guy that I hooked up with, he knew I was that girl. And he knew that it would make me feel good to tell me that. And that's why he told me that. And this guy, I feel like this guy that I hooked up with, I feel like he kind of likes drama too. And I think with like one person that sort of likes drama and then another person that sort of likes drama, it's a really bad combination. You sort of need somebody who's a little more theatrical with how they handle things, and somebody who's more, you know, who really knows how to calm people down. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's always been the best, you know. I need somebody to talk me down. You know what I mean? I just need somebody to just be like, instead of doing it this way, instead of thinking about it that way, do it this way or think about it that way, you know. You know how many vlogs I've taken down because my ex-boyfriend watched my vlogs and he was like, you sound like a crazy person, take that fucking down. Like, that was so helpful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyways. But, gosh, I hate that I'm like that. I really hate that I'm like that. And I don't want to be like that. I want my first instinct to be like a nice I don't know. Maybe that's just being human, and maybe I'm not abnormal that way. Maybe I'm not a bad person because of that. Maybe everyone's like that. You just have to control your thoughts. Everyone has to control their thoughts and what they think and what they feel. And that's something that we're in control of because we're human. We're not animals. We're in control of our thoughts. You know, and there's a situation in my life right now where it's just like, I need to make decisions about how I'm going to think and feel about this. That works for me, that's right for me, that makes the situation better, that makes the situation more peaceful, that helps me live with things, you know, that helps me understand things, that helps me process things and stuff. And I have to this is how I have to think about this in order to deal with it, in order to live with it, in order to survive it. And that's self-control. I have every right to be angry about a situation. I have every right to be hurt by a situation. I have every right to feel violated and betrayed by a situation in my life right now. I have every right to feel negatively about a situation in my life right now. And to feel angry at the people who have put me in this situation. I have every right to. Every right. But if I think and feel this way about it, I'm probably not going to win. So I have to just, okay, how can I think about this in a way where everybody wins? How can I behave in a way, in this way, that everybody wins, that I win and everybody wins? Because everybody has to win in this situation. Otherwise, nobody wins. And nobody will win. And it's a fucking mental triathlon. It's hard. It's really fucking hard. It's even now, sometimes I could just, anyways. Ugh, gosh. It's so hard feeling like a bad person all the time, you know? When I do try really hard to be good, you know? And sometimes I think I volunteer with an autistic man. And he's really overwhelming. He's very emotionally draining to be around. You have to be very, very calm and emotionally very open to receive some of the things that he's going to say to you. Sometimes an autistic man who has no control over his life or his emotions or his thoughts and feelings tells me that he's suicidal. It's horrible. It's really horrible. And I feel really lost and out of control in this situation. And I just have to do what I have to do, you know? And, but this autistic man, sometimes I think, am I only giving this man my friendship and my attention and my help and my support because it makes me feel like I'm compensating for being bad in other ways, you know? Is that the only reason why I'm doing this? Am I only acting out of guilt? And no, like I really don't know. I don't know my own thoughts and my feelings that well, you know, but I really don't think so. I really don't. I really think I love this person. I really believe that I care about this person and I want good things for this person. And I'm willing to do what I can to help them. I really believe that. I'm not acting out of guilt. And if somebody can do something like this, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, but it's just like sometimes I have to make my own case to myself. You know what I mean? Like, look, Caroline, like, look, you help this autistic man. You're really supportive of this autistic man. You can't be a bad person if you know. So it's like it's proof to me. It's proof. It's evidence that I'm a good person, that I have a good heart. You know, and because God, going back to what that guy said to me about the rebound guy, and what he said to me about, seeing my ex-boyfriend with a girl who he thought was less attractive than me, and my thought was, ha ha ha, yeah, I'm more beautiful than the girl my ex-boyfriend is with now. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. You know what I mean? Where you just have to like, oh, is this who I am? Because these are the first thoughts that came into my head. Is this really who I am? Because maybe that speaks to what comedy is. Maybe comedy makes jokes about the first things we think about something than the second thing that we think about something. Because maybe, I don't know, like Tony Hinchcliffe made that joke about Helen Keller, and then that woman freaked out, flipped out, and left and stuff, and he kicked her out, and that whole controversy and stuff. Or was it even a controversy? That was kind of interesting how people responded to that, I thought. Just, somebody, that's all, it kind of proves to you, that's all you have to do. You just have to say your piece. Just say where you're coming from. You know what I mean? Just be honest and just say where you're coming from, and then nobody can argue with that. Nobody can fight you on that, But, maybe the first thought people have about somebody like Helen Keller is, yeah, maybe they are better off dead. Maybe they are better off not having lived, Maybe that's somebody's first thought about somebody's circumstances like that, with somebody with circumstances like that. What quality of life could a person have with those circumstances, Maybe that's what everybody thinks first of all, And then secondly, they think something totally different. No, all life is valuable. But what comes first, the lie or the truth? What comes first to mind? What kind of person are you? Does the truth immediately always come to mind? Or does a lie? I don't know. I don't have the answers. I have no answers. I have no goddamn answers. I just feel like I've spent my life just asking questions that never get answered. I'm kind of sad about that. But life isn't fair. I didn't grow up in slavery. I didn't live and die in slavery. Life is unfair. Sometimes there are some people out there in the world that are just meant to live unfortunate lives, and that's that, and that's it. Life is unfair sometimes. That's just how life is. But even in my suffering, even in my moments of just feeling really unhappy, I have moments of pure joy. I have moments of loving life. Maybe I like to think that people who, were in concentration camps, maybe had moments like that while they were in a concentration camp. That maybe while they were in a concentration camp, they had great conversations, that they were able to connect with people on a deeper level because of the shared suffering that they had with, I don't know, there must have been something that they were given in that situation that made it somehow worth it, but maybe not. Is life fair in some way? Is life just inherently unfair to some people, and is life inherent? I mean, life is unfair to everybody. There are some people who are given so much more than what they deserve. So many people have that, are given so much more than what they deserve, and so much more than what they appreciate. And that's not fair. And that's unfair. So maybe life isn't fair to anybody. But what's worse, living your life wishing you had more, or living your life not knowing what you have? Well, anyways, I hope you all have a nice day. Like and subscribe and share. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.